entitled Karl Rove is Not a Genius. But some say he is brilliant, a strategist who can tick off the stats, dirty trick after dirty trick, elections ripe in his mouth like mealy fruit. But a genius? Maybe. They say Hitler was, Stalin was. But Karl is more like Creon, who thought he could trump the gods, until Teriasis said, uh-oh, and told him the real deal. Yes, Karl Rove might be a genius, dirty trick after dirty trick, W's bland, round Svengali. But perhaps he's a genus, a category of biological classification, ranking between family and species, exhibiting unusual differentiation, a capitalized singular noun. I tried to invent a form. I have no idea what to call it, but each line has 3 syllables, and each stanza has 3 lines. 8, 2, 4. And I didn't get the right count of stanzas, but life is a process. It's called apprehension. She wanted something indistinct, unencumbered, fashionably hot, walking through that door into a room pear-scented, bell tones whispering to her, offering soft red leather cuffs, ferocious whispers, all the temptation of language, all the details. But eventually she wanted something fine-tuned and very subtle, a cup of hot tea, the tenderness of sunlight, a few notes of a love song. Elizabeth and I went to Price Chopper one day, and there was a woman on the side of the driveway, and her cart was stuck in a rut. And so this is what I wrote about meeting Grace. Old she is, past 80, thick eyeglasses filled with hot sun. Her 3-footed cane like an elephant's foot, dangling from the handle of the shopping cart, stuck in a rut of asphalt and weeds. The road to Barrie is a busy 2-laner, strip malls and supermarkets. There was Grace, 5 miles to go before she could climb the 25 steps to her front porch, unlock the battered front door, pop open that Miller, fall back into her easy chair. The world shut out, children gone, husband dead these 37 years. Grace is old and smelled bad, drank a lot of beer. She was furious that the taxi never showed up. So we helped her out, drove her home, brought her groceries up the 25 steps to her crowded front porch. We waited until she was halfway there and then drove away. This is entitled Surfer Girls. And it's an actual, yeah, it's an autobiographical thing. We had our rituals. 6 a.m. pebble against the window, roseola clouds, first shock of cold as we hit the water, sun bleeding gold over our heads. Late August evenings after a swelling nor'easter, we sat out there surrounded by waves, roused like maddened cattle, spray shattering around us. You were brave as you sliced those waves, focused, lithe, free, unlike me, afraid of heights, rigid on my board, waiting for a more manageable challenge. 20 years later, halfway to San Francisco, I am slouching in a motel room chair, smoking a cigarette in the dark, out of context, stiff with dread at the thought of seeing you again. I still remember that morning toweling off in the outdoor shower, cicadas tisking in the heat, and you said, "Funny, you don't smell like a guinea." Just like that. And then you laughed. You didn't notice how I froze or how loud the dripping water slapped against the floorboards. 20 years later, landlocked and lonely, the interstate swarming outside, I finally understand why it's impossible to see you again. You never could have known how I smelled or how I felt. We never touched, kissed, never whispered secrets or held each other in the dark. I had only watched the wondrous mirage of you, sailing across the face of a perfect wave.